Rockeyez would like to welcome Chris McCarvill of Maxx Explosion. Hey, man, what's going on?
How are you, Brian?
Pretty good, pretty good. You know, how's it going with you?
It's incredibly busy because I own a business now, so I'm working full time and doing that and trying to do as much music as possible, and it's like juggling cats.
Yeah, I bet you. I mean, I really don't know how you have any time for yourself at all with all the, projects going on and everything else. So,
well, lucky for me, I'm just doing the Dokken thing and I'm doing Maxx Explosion. So I've pared that down.
Right.
Now I got the business, got the family, and I've been mountain bike training because I want to race now. So I don't know. Don't ask.
I could do about a block on that bike, I think. One block, then I'll be out of breath. So
we all have our own goals.
Yeah, mine's sleep. So Maxx Explosion really taking off and stuff like that. And I mean, you had Soto, Dokken, House of Lords, Samurai Cab Company, and
oh right, yeah.
Right.
I'm very excited about Maxx. It just seems to be morphing into what I would do on my own, anyways. Right. And I mean, it's I've worked with BJ and Jimmy for so long that it's like definitely like a family thing. Even though the band hasn't been around for quite that long, it's still we've been working together forever, so it's fun, and there's always new challenges, and we always bicker about stuff, but that's because we kind of fight for what we like, and, it's not always easy, but it's, definitely worth it. Thank you, Diane.
Right. I mean, between Jimmy and BJ, you get to work with some class musicians, and, I mean, I know Jimmy a long time, I know BJ a long time, I know Christian a long time, and,
yeah.
These guys are, top of the line musicians and people. They're quality.
Yeah, I mean, I've been very lucky to learn to sing by singing backups with like Jeff Scott Soto, with Mike Becerra, with James Christian, with Don Dokken. I mean, I basically have to kind of try to sound like them. So that's good practice, man.
Definitely. Tell me what it is. Touring with Dokken now.
What it is, what it's like?
Compared to the, back in the 80s, and, how is
okay. Well,
everything going?
Back in the 80s, I was in grammar school, so
well, you
it's a little cooler than that.
You could have been listening to it, Yeah,
it was cool to see. It's very cool to be in Dokken when I used to see everybody walking around the high school with Dokken T-shirts, and I used to see Dokken videos, so I knew most of the songs going in because that's just what was out. I mean, you couldn't not hear it.
Right.
And then, I had a live video of them, and I was just, they're really, really cool. It looked like a really fun band, and it's very interesting to be around these same personalities as that all the time.
Right.
Because they like Wild Mick Brown really is Wild Mick Brown. I mean, the guy's a genuine, crazy Teddy Roosevelt type A personality, and he's a lot of fun, and he's always a lot of fun. And it's just, the guy's on 10 all the time. It's crazy. And I've had people ask me, does that get old? And I'm like, absolutely not.
Right, yeah.
Because he's just so positive, and he's just such a funny guy, and he's just always going around making people happy, basically. So it's like, it's hard to feel like that gets old.
Right, yeah.
So that's great. And Dokken in general does weekends. Like, we don't really go out and tour for like months at a time. We basically fly out, play 2 shows, play 3 shows, come back. I go to work. The guitar player, John Levin, is a lawyer in Los Angeles, so he does that also. So we're all, multi-faceted, I guess,
Cool.
And Don is definitely, I was actually kind of scared of him at first because he is pretty intimidating and stuff as a person. And what it is, he's very opinionated, and he's very outspoken.
Right.
And he doesn't mind if it hurts your feelings, like his point of view. He will say how he feels.
Right.
And for better or worse, that makes for an exciting rock show.
Cool.
And I can give you an example if you want, if I'm not going on forever.
Go ahead. No, you're good.
We had a heckler in Pennsylvania, and it's this lady up on a balcony, and she's standing there in between songs, and Don's not a shouter. Like, he'll just talk on stage. Like, he doesn't just scream at you. So he's doing a shtick and stuff, and this lady up there is going, "You guys suck! You sound terrible! You're terrible!" And she's just obviously drunk out of her mind.
Right, yeah.
So Don ignores her. Gets to be the next song, same thing. She's up there doing it again. You guys are the worst. You suck. So Don goes, calmly looks at her and goes, listen, it's not my fault. You look like that. He completely turned, the whole audience was completely on his side, and that's why Don is Don, because he just has a way of, winning crowds over. Like, it's just, and then she stayed the whole night and danced around it, and she was just drunk. It was like silly. Who knows?
Wow. Well, like you said, he's open-minded and says what he wants to say. How is he towards criticism?
Towards criticism, he definitely takes it. I mean, he's much more. I don't know if I guess he's very, very intelligent,
right?
Which most people don't expect from like a rock singer. His hobby is like the medical field,
right?
Like he's very interested in all that stuff, and he knows a lot about it. It's like, if there's something wrong, he probably knows what's the matter with you.
Right. Cool.
It's pretty funny, and he'll know how to treat it too. Right. It's like, it's just weird, But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. He's definitely a lot sharper than people think. So it definitely kind of gives him an edge in a lot of situations. And he definitely. It's definitely hard to forget Don.
Wow.
He definitely leaves an impact, and it's a lot of fun. The whole chemistry of the band is fantastic right now. It's a lot of fun being in it because it's, Mick and Don can be volatile sometimes, and John has a totally different kind of nervous energy that he brings, and it's like on stage it just kind of goes out and explodes. It's cool.
Cool.
It's a different thing than Max. Like, Max is very comfortable, and we all get along really well, and I mean, most of the time we do, and it's more like, we're trying to see what we can do with it. We're trying to establish it as opposed to establish, and we're just trying to do the best that we can with it.
Right. Yeah. Wow. So, are you working on new material with Max?
For Max, we're always working on stuff, and it's, we started Max in between House of Lords schedule, in between Dokken's schedule, in between, so it was never meant to really take off like it did. It's just that it started to, people liked it, so we're like, oh, I guess we got to, dedicate some more time to this. It seems like people like it, and then we started, it seems like the more we played, the more people liked it, so we're like, okay, we have something cool here, and, we try to think about our futures too. It's like, maybe this is what we'll end up doing someday, so we're definitely experimenting and trying to come up with the winning formula for us, like what works for us. And there's some pretty cool changes coming, and I think it's going to be really cool. But for new material, always, I mean, we're always working on new stuff.
Cool.
It's just, we're in a position of not having to rush, so we'd rather make it great instead of making it fast.
Right. So tell me your relationship with Gregg Livesay.
My relationship with Gregg.
Do you play a lot of shows with him, or don't play any, or you plan on working with him?
We often stand near each other and compare our cars.
I bet.
And because he's got a Camaro and I have a Subaru WRX, so we're both kind of like, well, mine's cooler than yours. I'm like, yeah, well, mine's a snowmobile and does jumps and stuff. So.
Wow.
But I mean, we kind of live kind of near each other, so we run into each other once in a while. But actually, we've done a couple gigs with Gregg, but I think we've only done like 2. Something like that, but I see him a bunch of, he comes out and we try to go out and see him and definitely support him a lot. I think he's a great guy.
Cool. Cool.
He's someone that, if I need to hire someone to be a gangster in a film, it's like I'm going to go to Gregg because he's got the right jacket, he's got the right,
Yeah.
He's intimidating that way.
Yeah, he seems like a cool guy.
Cool.
Seems like a cool guy.
Oh, he's great.
Great.
Really, and a fantastic player too. I mean, he's really good.
Definitely. How about Chris Bickley?
Chris, I've known for a long time. I just don't know him that well. I mean, I know Chris through John Bruno. I don't know if you know him.
Yes,
he plays guitar for Obsession. Yeah, super nice guy. And John and I were in a band way back called X Factor X. And, I mean, John owns a music store in Connecticut, and I've run into Chris a million times there. And I know he's, he sent me something. I think he sent me some stuff to play on. At one point, and then I know I did that, and then I just kind of hear from him. Really, it's tough because with the Dokken thing, I don't really go out and hang out much because if I'm home, I want to hang out with my family if I can. Like that's kind of what my life is. So I'm probably not as social as I was. So
wow,
sorry everybody.
So in a week or so, you'll be at in Chicago, Melodicrock Fest 5. what can people expect?
What can they expect?
You got
we're
merch?
driving.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, we definitely we always have merch. That's my business. I'm a screen printing company now, so all the Max merch is all in house. It's kind of always been like that for us. So I'm always working on that stuff. We just have a bunch of new songs that we're trying out, and it's kind of the same thing that everybody says. Like my band's the best in the universe.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
But we're progressing, and we're trying different stuff out, and hope you like it. And we're hoping to see a whole bunch of friends there too, because there's a lot of our friends are in the other bands.
Right.
So
wow.
Should be really cool. Definitely looking forward to it.
You guys are playing Sunday, the last day. Are you going to be there for all 4 days, or just that last day?
I'm pretty sure we're showing up Saturday night because BJ and Jimmy have a show Friday night, and then we're gonna head out Saturday morning. I think it takes 14 hours to drive.
Right. Wow.
So, because we like beating ourselves up, because that's what we do. Actually, what's funny is the one that we did before. I think we did Melodicrock Fest 3.
Right.
Was around I think it was around my birthday or somebody's. I don't remember what it was.
But
we left for we had a gig the next night in Connecticut. So we left for Chicago, drove 14 hours, slept for 4 hours, did our show, got in our car, drove back, did another show in Connecticut. Like within, it was like 16 hours later, we were on a stage in Connecticut.
Right. Wow.
It was like we're all trying to be like, yeah, we're nice explosion. We're all not tired at all. Like, that kind of thing.
Wow. I know that when I met you that day at Melodicrock Fest, I guess 4.
Yep.
That was one of my favorite pictures that me and you took when I tried to bite your cupcake, and you made.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you remember that shot? Oh,
I remember because food is, and I have a total sweet tooth. That's my weakness. So it's one of those, like, anybody goes near anything that's like, and if there's sweets around and there's not very many of them, I'm going to be a T-Rex. Like, so it's.
Wow. And now I see that you're doing the New England Rock Fest too in August.
Yeah, that just came up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically. I'm hoping that happens. If Dokken does have something that comes up, I'm probably doing the Dokken show. So that's sort of, we never know what's going to happen exactly, but so far I don't see a date yet from Dokken, so that's cool. And I imagine it's the same with House of Lords. And so with something that far out, we just have to keep in mind that it's hopefully it won't get canceled, but we're kind of
cool.
It's difficult to do more than one band, but it's Jimmy and BJ do music to survive, so they really don't have a choice. It's like, for me, I have a bit of a choice, but would you want to stop being a Dokken?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Tell me a little bit about your business.
Well, it's a screen printing company. I'd done this with my coworker Tina for about 25 years, and it got bought out one day, like just out of nowhere. And we gave the new owner a shot, and we figured, let's see what he does. And he started losing customers like left and right. So we're like, we can't do this. So we started going to see SCORE program, which is like a retired executives. They teach out of colleges, and we took business classes, and we saw attorneys and lawyers and tax people and all this stuff. And it took us about a year to make a business plan, and we did it. And we got funded, and last year we opened up our new shop, and the old place closed about 2 weeks before we opened. So we got 99% of their business and 99% of the employees.
Right.
So we're 10,000 square feet. We have about 15 employees, and it's just busy season. Like, we're just cranking. It's amazing. I'm very, very happy. It's out of all I never thought I'd be a business owner, but that seemed to be the best opportunity for everyone, including everyone that was working at the old place.
Right. Yeah. Wow. That's pretty cool.
So it's just, it's one of those, we just want to try to make it so we have somewhere to go to work and take care of our families,
Right. Yeah. You have anything else coming up in the future for this year?
Well, one of the things I do is I make bases, and I've been doing that kind of a lot. I made my first neck this year, and I made it wrong, so I had to make another one. But this yellow bass I've been playing that has flames on it and stuff, it just seems to be working really, really well, and everybody likes how it sounds, and I love how it plays, so I'm pretty excited about that, because it's a whole other, I do it all by hand. Like, I use a spoke shaved to make the necks, and that's how they used to do wagon wheels. So it's all really handmade, except my friend Keith paints them for me because that's a whole other thing.
Right, yeah, wow.
But, you know, that's a lot of fun. So it's that and teaching my son to drive, and he's got his prom coming up, and, you know, that and just I've been training mountain biking for a couple of years now, and I want to start racing this year, so I don't know what's wrong with me.
Cool. Cool. Wow. Unbelievable. So I guess I'll see you in about a week or two, and congratulations on all your projects and stuff like that. It was good
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
Definitely good talking.
You too, Brian. And I'm, you know, sorry I'm hard to pin down sometimes, but appreciate your patience.
It happens. It happens. You know. Would you like to say anything to the fans out there?
Definitely. Thank you so much for all your support, and I hope you're coming out to Chicago. And if not, I'll find out where you live. I'll come hunt you down.
Cool. Cool. Thanks a lot, Chris.
All right. Take care,
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.